Cassidy's anniversary caper resides in Order Up, a menu of lesbian romance and erotica, and it counts as romantic comedy. I usually don't do physical comedy. I can't watch it because I get too nervous. I feel so bad for them. I want to cuddle them and love them and call them George. But Cassidy kind of came to me and I had to let her tell her story. So I'm going to read an excerpt from Cassidy's anniversary caper. Sweet! Cassidy mentally high-fived herself for rising before her customary crack of noon. She even made her bed to celebrate the novelty. This time she was going to have her shit together. She even finished a huge project a week ahead of time so she could take Friday off. Cassidy's boss had looked at her cross-eyed when she handed over the deliverables so early, but today was important. She wasn't going to let anything get in the way of her showing Mazy how much she loved her. It was their 6-month anniversary. How often does that happen? Once in a lifetime, Cassidy said around a mouthful of toothpaste. Cassidy was a consummate flake. Her longest relationship was a whopping 2 weeks long, and that was back in college. Cassidy had even managed not to kill the herb garden Mazy gave her on her 30th birthday. Mazy was an amazing cook, and she actually used the herbs from the garden. She always left little surprises in Cassidy's fridge, claiming that she did it so Cassidy wouldn't starve. But Cassidy knew it was more than that. Food was love. Today was Cassidy's chance to pay Mazy back with her absolute favorite meal: roasted turkey, homemade cranberry sauce, and mashed potatoes with enough butter to make a cow squeal. Do cows squeal? Cassidy asked the delicate stalks of dill as she carefully cut from the planter. The rosemary was a little harder to liberate. The stems were thicker, and the blades were soft to the touch, but stubborn. Her cell phone broke her concentration as it growled and barked like a rabid dog. Oh, fuck. She had chosen a Rottweiler, losing its shit barking as a ringtone for her high-strung, bitchy, butchy bottom of a boss. Cassidy temporarily abandoned the rosemary battle and answered. After listening to her boss's full-on freak fest for a good 10 minutes, she interrupted, unable to contain her horror. You stripped the content of Harper's entire website? The very same website she designed and handed over with a proverbial bow on top? How is that even possible? Cassidy palmed her forehead so hard she was pretty sure she dented her skull, and she was torn between the desire to vomit up a week's worth of food or curl up in a ball and sob like a baby. You can't strip the formatting from the entire site. That tool only works one page at a time. I used the strip tool on the back end. I thought I could start over. Dorian trailed off. Normally, strip and back end in the same sentence would have tickled her, especially coming from Dorian. You thought you could recreate 9 months of work from scratch. How? Cassidy paced and alternately tugged on her hair and bit on her lip to keep from screaming. I had the PowerPoint you made for the proposal, and the file manager had all the project videos and images files. I tried to use them to back up the file, but the file corrupted. Cassidy's brain tuned out at corrupted, and all she could hear was wah, 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 like she was trapped in a demented version of a Peanuts cartoon. She didn't remember squeezing them, but the dill and rosemary were a crushed mess. Blades and delicate fronds stuck to her bare feet, and her toes felt fuzzy. Maybe her boss was wrong. She had to be. I'll fix it, Cassidy mumbled. Dorian squealed so loud she had to pull the phone from her ear. So much for getting a jump on things. The champagne, lollipops, and unicorns had left the building. First things first, she needed a gallon of coffee, a carton of Tums, and the force to turn her anniversary around. The grinding coffee beans made enough of a racket that she indulged her desire to scream some truly masterful curses. That bitchy, butchy bottom better come through with a whopper of a bonus next month, or it was on. The shrill whistle of the kettle was yet another opportunity to get her "fuck my life" shout on. Once her jumbo French press was brewing, she stalked off to the bathroom, leaving a trail of crushed herbs in her wake. She set the shower to scalding, hopped in, and belted out Taylor Swift's "Shake It Off" while she lathered her hair. Her mood darkened, and "Shake It Off" morphed into a rendition of Bad Blood that would have put a drag queen to shame. Once she dried off, she needed to find some special armor. Her favorite battle t-shirt was so wash-blurred, you could barely make out the slogan, "Stand back! I'm going to do science." Black jeans and a broken-in pair of Doc Martens polished off her "I'm gonna kill my fucking boss" outfit. Cassidy papered the wall behind her monitor with printouts of the Harper Industries PowerPoint along with site map diagrams. They looked like crime scene photos. "Don't psych yourself out. You can do this," she muttered. After an hour of triage and Dropbox, she decided to take a break. It was 11:15. There was still time to shake her flake reputation and give Mazy the anniversary she deserved. And she'd start by sweeping up the dill and rosemary from earlier, but the greens were just too fresh and wouldn't fucking cooperated. "I'll deal with it later." She caressed the blue glazed planter Mazy made for the herb garden. The surface was rippled, but smoother than wood grain. Every time Cassidy saw it, she felt loved. Then briefly guilty for never cooking with the now mature plants. She was going to change that, like yesterday. And she started by picking a whole new round of herbs for dinner. This time she managed to harvest the dill, rosemary, thyme, and basil without incident. She opened the fridge and reached for the turkey. It was solid as a rock. She closed the refrigerator door and opened it again, willing it not to be true. Holy shit! Why the fuck did I buy a frozen bird? Am I insane? She picked up the foul bowling ball and plunked it in a pan, nearly denting the rack meant to cradle the turkey an inch above the pan's bottom. The skin of the turkey was somewhat thawed and didn't protest the olive oil and fresh herb rub she prepared. Cassie thought about putting it in the oven now on really low heat, but the meat would probably dry out near the surface and be raw as fuck inside. The golden delicious apple perched on the windowsill taunted her. She was supposed to stuff it inside the turkey to keep it tender and moist. Christ. How the hell am I going to get the guts out of this bird when it's frozen? "You think Elsa makes house calls?" she asked the apple. Did she even know how to thaw stuff? Cassidy had never seen Frozen, but doubted Disney was going to get her out of this one. She tried sweet-talking the turkey. "So, I know I'm about to get really personal, and I'm totally sorry about going into your privates and all, but Mazy really loves..." "Sure, tell the dearly departed bird you just want to stick your hand up her butt. Be still her no longer beating heart." So I'm going to stop at that point. And if you'd like to know how well things go or how wrong things go, you go to the ILVA website and buy yourself a copy of Order Up.